kind of bidding on the spectrum side, which is coming up. I think that would possibly be a big trigger there.
You know, cement is having a very, very strong day. And if I look at large cap, mid cap, small cap, across the board, all cement stocks are up. Can we have some intradays, please? ACC, Ultratech, Shree Cement, all of them are up by more than 40 rupees each. You've got price action in Binani Industries, which owns Binani Cement, that's 134. There is price action in JK Cement, there is price action in India Cement, and there is volume action in a rather illiquid stock called Madras Cement. Avinnash, if I connect the dots here, Indian economy is slowing down, investment cycle has broken down, housing demand has plunged, cement stocks are expensive, but they're still outperforming.
Nikunj, my guess is, I think if you've been seeing the numbers for cement companies for the last quarter, in fact for the previous quarter also, I think profitability has been very sharp. In fact, cement prices have been quite firm. So I think some amount of pricing discipline and some amount of volume, kind of supply discipline has been maintained by the sector.
If cement numbers are strong, that means economy is not slowing down. And if economy is slowing down, why are cement numbers strong?
Quite frankly, Nikunj, I think, it's a difficult question you've asked me, because also, the GDP numbers have gone down. I think clearly from a stock specific point of view, I think clearly, it means cement consumption has obviously gone up. But I mean, to what extent it actually has gone and built the components of the GDP, it's a difficult call. But clearly, I think my sense is, I mean, stock specific wise, I think at least for the few quarters, we are not going to see cement prices softening. And that means that possibly, it's going to be, I mean, some more run up for all these cement players.
Okay, dealing room buzz. For that, let's go to Darshan and Gargi. And Darshan, when I say that ladies first, we'll have to let Gargi speak. Gargi?
Well, the first stock being ITC dealers recommending to buy this counter. In fact, most funds that we spoke to are saying that there could be some buying expected in the defensives in the coming week, and probably on the back of that some buying expected in ITC. In fact, if you see the stock in the last week, it's not shown a big run-up. In fact, it's been one of the underperformers versus its peers in the last week. So keep an eye out for ITC. The other one being Axis Bank, and the concerns relating to Bhumi, those probably have been exaggerated, and the management came out with a clearance yesterday regarding the same, and probably we'll see some buying coming in, and that funds are accumulating at every dip for that counter. 2% increase already coming in on Axis.
Okay, Darshan, what are you picking up when it comes to dealing room buzz?
Well, I think I start with where you left off and why cement is doing well, and is this to a credits use today. It came out with a huge report, maybe a 30-40 pager report on the entire cement sector. They are very bullish on it. What they've said is, they've maintained, apart from ACC, what they've done is they've upgraded. That's the only counter they've upgraded. But all the other counters, what they've done is they've raised the target prices. They're very bullish on the sector. They're saying that, pricing is looking strong, demand is not looking weak, and all that is what they're doing. And if you see India Cements as one, that's one of the top gainer, because they've clearly mentioned in the report that, India Cements will be the biggest beneficiary because of the bean price revision, and clearly all the cement counters are up in trade because of that big report that came in today morning. The other stocks that they're talking about, dealers are talking about, is Bajaj Auto. Now, Bajaj Auto and the other auto companies will report numbers on the 1st of this month, and clearly dealers are anticipating that numbers like last time will disappoint this time. But the trend is very similar. Last time, 2-3 days before the numbers came in, the stock corrected almost 150 rupees on that anticipation, and dealers are saying that some of these funds are actively shorting this counter on the back of bad numbers that will be expected. And the last one is Videocon, in which the institutional desks are indicating that HNIs are accumulating at every dip.
Alright, Darshan, thanks for that. State Bank of India up 31 rupees. It's been a one-way ride for State Bank of India from about 1850, 1900. State Bank of India is now sitting well above 2200. Ashwini, do you think for someone who's of the view that State Bank of India could cross 2300 soon, that's a reasonable target to assume?
Come again?
Do you think State Bank of India could touch 2300, or do you think that will be a stretch target in the short term, because the stock already has seen a run-up?
Well, I don't think banks are anywhere near their tops, and State Bank, 2300 is a very modest target. I think the first target here could be closer to 2500, 2550. banks will top out only when the rate cycle has clearly started going on the downside. I mean, right now we are just hoping that rates may get cut. So I think if you broadly take 2200 as some sort of a neckline, because that is where it went the last time when good results were announced, add 400 points to that. So 2550, 2600 is the reasonable target once the Bank Nifty starts another rally.
Okay, keep an eye out for Shriram City Union. Shriram City Union. Almost 23 lakh shares have been traded at a price of 750. The stock is down about 2.5%. It would be interesting to see who has sold this block, but that's brought about a crack in the stock, down about 2.5% at 750 for the counter. The other one is Dish TV. Let's bring that one up. Of course, over the recent times, we've seen a fair amount of activity in the cable distribution stocks. Dish TV in the session is up 2%. We'll talk about both these counters in just a bit. But first, closing strategies. Ashwini, come to you for that.
Well, Voltas is broken out of a consolidation. So that's a buy with a stop about 130. Look for targets about 141.
Hitesh, what about you?
I'll pick a cement stock, India Cements. While it's kind of, I've been looking for a breakout about 93, it's just there. So tomorrow, I think if it starts trading about 93.40, which is today's high, I think, I would suggest buying this with a stopper of below 90 and looking for a price target of 102 to about 103 on the upside. So maybe it's not exactly a call which can be initiated now, but I think people should be ready to buy into it tomorrow morning if it gaps up by even a rupee or so.
Okay, apart from cement, it's retail. Pantaloon Retail, Trent, Shoppers Stop, Store One in no order. But retail stocks are also moving up, and they are moving up on strong volumes. Pantaloon Retail appreciated on Tuesday as well. 214, 215 for Pantaloon Retail. Avinnash, FDI and retail was announced 2 weeks ago. These stocks are getting excited today. Why is that?
I think, Nikunj, sometime back we had seen Pantaloon retail also being battered, and then again a bounce back coming once retail was actually legitimized by the government. So my guess is, I think, most of these stocks are witnessing a sentiment change. I think what was beaten down very badly earlier clearly has become a favorite, and I think in the coming few, at least say a couple of quarters, I think some announcements either from Pantaloon or a Shoppers Stop are likely to happen, and that's possibly, is keeping the stocks, on a positive momentum side.
Banks are looking okay, autos are holding on selectively, but UB Group stocks are moving up, and they are moving up on very, very strong volumes. Avinnash, for someone who has missed the rally and missed the entire rally in the month of September, but is now confident, is feeling left out, and has desire to go long, give me some low risk, high return ideas.
You want something from the large cap or from?
You can choose absolute returns.
Absolute returns, I mean something like a stock like, a kind of infrastructure consumption story like Astral Polytechnic. I think this stock was available at around 270, 280 a couple of weeks back. It's now about 298. Here the story is extremely strong. In fact, the company has been a pioneer in the, CVPVC pipes, has been replacing galvanized pipes, and has a very strong earnings kind of record. In fact, this year we could see earnings of over 23, 24. Stock could possibly go up to around 360, 370, another 6-8 months. So I think here, clearly, in terms of return ratios, in terms of the return on equity, I think very small equity, 12 crore equity company has been churning out very good numbers. So I think probably a year down the line, I think, this stock could possibly easily be about 400 rupees. So
it's only when we see the rates, we see the price appreciation. Astral Poly is up 138% already. You still like the stock? And if yes, at what price did you identify it?
Nikunj, I think clearly, with the kind of earnings traction and with the kind of product range they have and the kind of product monopoly they enjoy, I think clearly this is a segment which has grown even when the, when the economy was in bad times. So, when the economy obviously picks up, hopefully in the second half, my guess is I think sectors like retail, when they open up, they would obviously present a big opportunity for this company. So I think clearly, one wants to take a call over the next 1 year. There's still pretty good upside.
What I'm trying to gather from you is that do you have investment in this stock, and if yes, at what price did you invest in this stock?
I think I got in at around 225, 230 odd. So I mean, I'm still invested in the stock, and I'm looking forward for a price of 360, 370.
Right. I was just wondering your opinion on Dish TV as well as Shriram City Union if you could give us your views there, Avinnash.
Dish TV definitely, with the kind of policy change of, inviting 74% stake. My guess is, this is one of the potential players which possibly becomes a clear kind of candidate here, and the kind of business model the company has, put out, and the kind of growth additions in the subscriber base. My sense is, although, earnings at the net level would take some time, my guess is at least on the EBITDA front, they've been doing pretty well. So clearly with, hopefully a strategic investor coming in and, equity, foreign equity coming in, I think over the longer term, definitely this is a good play on the, Dish TV market. So I think if anybody has a holding, I think one should hold on. Clearly on probably even at the current level, one wants to take a really medium to longer term call. I think also it's a good candidate.
Okay, United Breweries has reversed, but United Spirits is holding on, but it has reversed from the day's high. First, United Spirits, if I look at the intraday high for United Spirits, way above 1175. So from the day's low, it has cracked, but it has popped right back up. It's at 1152. United Breweries. We just showed you the graph instead of green. Now you have a shade of red for United Breweries. This is one group which I'm sure has surprised everyone on the upside, and the reason why we keep on revisiting this group is because traders, they love to chase momentum, and there's definitely some momentum when it comes to Kingfisher Airlines. But like we've been discussing with our experts, that aviation is not a very good quality, a very good or a sound business to own. Kingfisher Airline may survive. Hopefully it will be a stronger company after 1 year, but it is not the kind of, it is not a quality franchise which you really want to own. For the Nifty, the rates are 15 points down for the Nifty. Sensex also marginally down. Bear in mind that at a time when global cues are not all that strong, Indian markets are consolidating. When I look at, or when I map this week's price action for Nifty or for the Sensex, we've meandered in a volatile range but a 100-point band. That's a perfectly acceptable scenario. More than local factors, like I've been maintaining, I honestly worry about global factors, because globally, the dollar index now is at a 2-week high. Crude is looking slightly toppy. Austerity, anti-austerity protests, they've started in Spain, and the kind of economic indicators we've got from US, they are not all that encouraging. So we already, Fed has already front-loaded a QE3. So I wonder that what are the next instruments they are left with if US economy fails to revive the next 2 or 3 quarters. That's the rupee-dollar equation for you. Still moving, still trading. So net-net, day ahead of expiry, I think we are consolidating. No one is complaining. And the big trend which I would like to point out is the small and the mid-cap index. So there is definitely some, some traction there. The small-cap index is up 0.5%, which is strong.
Which is strong and resilient. Let's bring up the indices for you. 56.61 for the last 3 sessions. We've been stuck in that 50 band range given the recent rally, so it's not entirely unexpected. Of course, there's been more stock-specific activity and action in the broader markets. Cement is your standout performer. You have the rate sensitives which have held out in today's session, and some defensives have also performed. Bharti Airtel, however, is down 4%. Some NBFCs, IDFCs down about 3%. You have some of the commodity names, Tata Steel, Hindalco, SAIL, which have lost out, and Forces has looked weak. L&T has lost ground. Reliance Communications, Reliance Power, Tata Motors have also looked weak. DLF has also given way in the session. So commodities have been your weak spot largely.
It's all about individual stocks. If you're getting the stock right, I think this week again has been quite rewarding. We just told you that how the small cap index has moved. From the index, I would also like to point out that ITC is holding on, HUL is also holding on. So the market is no longer very polarized. There is underlying momentum. The appetite to sell FMCG and sell defensives is obviously there. But similarly, the desire to really load on, infrastructure or metals is not there. So it's good that all sectors are chipping in, all sectors are participating. Axis Bank cracked by about 2-3% on Tuesday. Today it has managed to make a comeback. State Bank of India has been steady. ITC is holding at 263. Reliance, nothing special there, but it has not cracked. Monday Bajaj Auto went up. Today Hero MotoCorp has come back. One day Maruti is moving up. The very next day it's Mahindra and Mahindra. So I don't think, looking at the market texture, you can really raise a red flag for the day. I think we've had a reasonable market with some stock specific action. IDFC I think is the only chink in the armor, because IDFC is a performing stock, and a performing stock is down by about 3%. That's never a very healthy sign. Markets have closed, and the final pre-adjusted rates are 16 points down for the Nifty, 77 down for the Sensex, which is a perfectly acceptable outcome. What about the Bank Nifty? The index is up already 40% plus this year. The Bank Nifty of late has been a marked outperformer, 18 points down for the Bank Nifty. No one will have any